Okay, TK 1636. I am on part 2 of the short trooper armor, and what I've done so far is I trimmed a lot off the forearms, the biceps, the shoulder bells, and the shins, because this kit is way too big. So I trimmed off all the, not return edge, but the edge that, like the ridge, and I made my own ridge. I don't know if you can really see it, but I'll show you kind of what it looks like if I put it on. So here, it fits a lot better. I'm gonna have to definitely heat it up because now it's very oval. I should say it's not oval enough. I have to, or maybe it is pretty oval, but either way, I'm gonna have to make it more rounder. So it's squished down quite a bit, but this fits me a lot better like that. Same thing with the bicep. Let's see. And the cool thing about this kit also is both the arms, the forearms and the biceps are pretty much the same. You can use it on either or. There is no thumbprint like the Stormtrooper, but it's very similar to Stormtrooper armor. I'm trying to squeeze these together, kind of get them in my arm, and you can see how it goes in. It's a little bit tight, but I still have to trim a little bit around here. So I'm going to put it on, and then also once they're also oval-ish, so once I get them both in, I'm going to have to heat it up and make them more rounder, or I should say more oval this way instead of the other way. So I've already trimmed those out, the biceps. I trimmed both sides out, but they're a lot smaller. They fit my shoulder more instead of being out here, because I probably cut off on both sides. I probably cut off at least this much on both sides. So if you can see that, so that's probably almost an inch. So about 2 inches I cut off the forearm. I'm sorry, the shoulder belt. And then the leg, I'll show you how much I cut off the leg. There we go. Side, here we go. Okay, so you can kind of look in here, and you can see I've cut off quite a bit here and quite a bit here. So when I sit it on top, you can see how much. There it is. You can see how here's the ridge here. My ridge is up here, so it's quite a bit spaced out compared to. I left the rear ridge in. So the rear ridge is still there. It's about maybe like 10 millimeters of an edge, so I can glue. I don't know how I'm going to do the back yet, but I do know how I'm going to do the front. So that's why I concentrated on getting rid of the front. If I have to, I'll get rid of the rear the same way. But this is all going to be covered up with this piece. So what I don't know yet, until I put both of them together, is how much of this is going to be cut off right here. Let me put it up so you can see it. I'm not sure how much of this I'm going to have to cut off, because it seems to me like it's a lot. I'll have to look at other pictures and see, but right now I want to get it on, and again, I'm not 100% sure. I want to say this piece right here rides up here, and then it kind of doesn't reach down there, so it's a little bit of trial and error once I get it together. But more than likely I'm going to shrink those down too. I'm not going to mess with the chest or the back yet, and I'll probably definitely have to trim down the kidney quite a bit. I haven't tried it out, but if it's like the the clone or the FO, then I had to trim quite a bit out. So what I'm going to do first, oh yes, almost forgot. So I went ahead and made some strips, because like you said, or like I said earlier, I cut the strips out. So I'm going to need an outer strip to cover this where they join together. So here's one, and then I got a second one that's one's 15. This thing. One's 15 and one's 20. So 20's on the bottom, 15's up top. So it's just a tiny bit smaller, and that way it looks like there's two. So what I'm going to do is just glue them together, one right on top of the other, and just basically have like two outer strips. All right, so now first thing we do is drop it, and then also since I cut them down, they're just a little bit short. So what I'm probably going to do is just line this edge up here. I'll just keep lining that up, and then I'll probably just trim this off. So I'll just get it on the grinder and trim it down, or I'll trim it real quick to put the strip on, because I kind of want to see how it looks with the strip. So I'll do one forearm or one bicep, and then I'll try to mess with the shin. So I have a whole bunch of these cut. Oops, it's the bicep ones. So go ahead and get it ready here. So I'll just do the same thing I normally do. I'll get both sides, let it dry, go to the next one, do both sides, and then come back to gluing this on. It's probably going to fit like this, and then it's going to have a huge gap in the back. So it's going to be fun bending it over and hoping it doesn't crack. So I'll go ahead and throw some glue in here. Don't want to use too much because I don't have a lot of spray left. That last storm tuber killed my spray. Alright, the phone died for some reason. Well, not died, but it turned off. So I went ahead and got this. I'm going to put an outer strip on just to make it stronger, because the last thing I want is for this to crack. If you can see the gap, and it's already creaking. It'll actually come together. I just want more on the out here so it doesn't pop off. So I'm going to put this one on first. Actually, I'm going to get my other scissors. The scissors don't leave a serrated cut on that. Not that it really matters, because I'm going to paint this whole kit, but oh, that was my finger. Okay. Okay, so that in there. might have to bring this down just a little bit lower. You guys can't see. So there's one. And now the second one. Let me see. Second one. Someone cut my finger. Okay, put that on top. And I'll just glue this one on top. But I'll glue here, spray down here. There's the second one. So now it's got the double edge where it comes out. There we go. So hopefully that's a little bit stronger for this second piece. Or this second piece is not going to be fun to put on. Have to do it a little bit at a time. Probably start here and then do the other side. Those in. Just can't quite see. So I got the front end. Now this back part, I need to throw some glue and spray in here. Do the same exact thing. So the cool thing about this kit, which I said earlier, is that it's going to be painted anyways. It's going to be dirtied. It's going to be battle damaged. So anything I do to this is not going to matter look-wise, because I got to do something right here in a minute. Whoa, get off the floor. If I can get this. So it's not going to matter look-wise what it looks like, because it's going to be painted, filled in, dirtied, whatever you can do to get rid of wherever you messed up. Okay, there we go. So it has all these little marks where when you bend the plastic, it kind of leaves like a stress mark. So that's going to be seen if you look on this side. You can kind of see it. All this white is a stress mark. You don't really see it too much on this side, but you definitely see it on this side. And once I put that other one on, hopefully it'll hide it. So again, I got to come through here. See if I can. So all I want to do is just make these even. I'm not really worried or care that I cut off some of here. Don't really care. So this is probably going to be just a tiny bit tight right here, which it is, but it fits on. Everything fits. It's not humongous. I'm definitely going to have to trim right here. So actually, let me do that. Oh boy, this is a tight fit that way. I think I forgot to cut this part. So you can really see a weird, probably gonna have to heat it up to make it come this way. Yeah, but make it go that way. be a little bit, it's easy to put on, hard to take off. But that's not too bad. I might have to trim it some more here, because it's too long, because it's hitting my my wrist right here. I tried to cut it down some, but I don't think I cut it down enough. So when I bend my arm, it basically pokes me right here, which does no good when you're trying to put a helmet on. Oh boy. So I could do one of two things. I could trim this down, and I won't trim that. I can trim this down just a tiny bit, and then just bend it like I did with my pliers. And again, I'll sand that out, and then when I paint it, it's going to cover up any marks that I do. But it does make like little humps, so I can kind of sand those humps down. I have one of the palm sanders that you can sand that down so you can't see it. But you definitely need to come down here. I don't really, actually it might be better maybe if I go down here and cut this out, because it's just a little bit small. For some reason, the way this armor is set up, it's a lot bigger here and a lot smaller here. So when I cut those two things off, it made this one way too small. Same thing with this one. It's a lot bigger up top, a lot smaller here. So what I might do is just trim it down here more, and then that way, actually I'll just go ahead and do it. Even though it's not my armor, this is what I would do to my armor anyways. Because again, it's definitely too, so if I put it up here, probably about, I'm going to say about right here is where I need to cut it. So go ahead and make a mark. So I'm going to probably cut off almost an inch. And then probably just pop these up just a little bit. Or maybe I'll just cut them. I'll just file it or figure out something to trim that. Just maybe half an inch. Stop. Whoa. There we go. Let's see. This makes it cleaner, so I'm going to try to cut it with this. I'll try. I don't know if these scissors are going to be strong enough. We'll see. There we go. So I still kept the nice sharpness, and I can always come through. I can always come through with a file and or a Dremel and fix where I just cut it. Let's see if it fit. Oh yes, much better. Oh, now I can. It's still a little close, but I can put a helmet on, I can do whatever I need to do, and it still looks good. I mean, yes, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, there's 10 and a half, like 11 on this one. This one, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12. I think I cut one off to begin with. So there's, I want to say 12, 13, and now it's down to 11. I might just end up cutting this, actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I might cut off, go to number 10 and cut number 10 and a half, 11 off. It still feels just a tiny bit long still, but it's a lot easier to take off now. So with that being said, I can go ahead and I'll put this on. So what I'm doing is since it's doesn't want to glue very well, I'm going right in the crack. doing just a little bit on each side. I need some right here, popped off right there too. Hold that in between my legs. Get this one. So I don't really care, again, if this is scratched up or scuffed up or messed up in any way. Doesn't hurt my feelings one bit, because it's all going to be end up down the road being sanded anyways. There's the first one. Let me get the second one. That one's a long one, or a bigger one. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing, glue another one up top. So again, once I paint all this, nobody's going to notice that, unless they're really looking at it, they're not going to notice that this was glued on, two strips were glued on. And to tell you the truth, I doubt very many people know the Rogue One. I certainly don't know the Rogue One that well. I definitely don't like the Rogue One Stormtrooper. Okay, so now both pieces are on there. So hopefully once I put the paint on and the dirty up, it'll blend in a little bit better. I have no idea why they decided to put two, but it's on there. Alright, so that's one done. Now, the bicep. So the bicep's going to be the same way. Can't quite confuse this one. There's a slot here that you're supposed to cut for the elastic to come through and glue to the bottom of the shoulder belt. I think these are going to be quite a bit easier to put on. I've got these smaller ones. I'm going to go ahead and use this one this time. I think it's easier to glue the inside on this one, just because I'm working by myself. That one out. Okay, do the other side. Bit on the bottom. I'm basically just trimming it so that it'll fit in a little bit better. So that'll fit in. Glue it. Spray it. Oh. Fingers all glued together. You gotta be quick with this glue. It'll glue your fingers together. Alright, that one's in. So now we'll do the top. So one thing I noticed, they pretty much both fit together. One's not crazy different than the other one. I'll just line the top and bottom. This glue, if you got to be careful, doesn't quite bond that fast. So if you put it on there, it will kind of move around just a tiny smidge. But after about 4 seconds, it's latched on. So okay, now this one, they definitely look like they'll line up. So I'm going to spray it first. Then I'll glue it. The biceps is definitely easier to do than the forearms. Put them both together. Ooh. Because of this crazy angle, this side's definitely not wanting to cooperate. So I'll throw a little bit of glue right there. Actually, a lot of bit of glue. This side's okay. Well, maybe I need some here too. Ah, you sucker. So I think what I'm going to do is just make me a shim real quick and then just put it in, because I need something on the outside to help it I need something on the outside to help keep this one down. This side's there it goes. Didn't want to, but I made it. So we're good here. What sucks is in the last armor I did that was black, I got glue everywhere, ended up taking it off, sanding it off, and then buffing it out. This one, which we're going to paint, I'm not getting glue anywhere but where I need to be. So, guess I can't complain. Alright, so I'll cut one here. Use this bigger one for both. Glue it. I'm going to throw some glue right in the center to help it out a little bit. I'll spray this. Gotta be careful. I'm starting to run out of spray. And the spray really helps me. Makes this job a lot quicker. I mean, I work and all, but on my days off, sometimes when I'm doing these, I just like to whip right through them and get the other side. It's almost like a second job here. But this is a fun job compared to my normal job. Flip it over, the other one. So I'm probably going to run out of the black, the smaller black one. So what I'm going to have to do is just cut out 15s in the white. I have extra white strips, so I'll just use 15s for that. But hopefully I'll have enough. I am we'll see. Okay, so I used a little bit of that excess spraying on the other side to spray this one, hopefully. Yeah. Hold it down a little bit longer. So, I don't know if you can really see that well, but there's the two pieces. Right there, and then the two. So I mean, it just looks like a regular TK, but let me see if I can put both these two together. It definitely looks different for me. I'm not used to having them stick out like that. Okay, so that's the arms. That was the easy part. At least I don't have to do thighs. Okay. All right, now this one's going to be the fun one because it's so tore up here. So what I'm probably going to do is just line here and not even really worry about that, or I might just put a filler piece in the back, but not worry about the gap right here. And then as I'm looking, I notice one is a little bit longer than the other, so I'm going to have to trim the bottom. And another thing I notice is I think they're both got the same swoop, so it doesn't necessarily look like there's a right or left side until you put the sniper knee on, or whatever you want to call this knee. And I gotta look and see. I want to say it goes this way. I can't remember. Looking at the pictures, I can't remember which way it went. But we'll figure that out, and then I'll figure this front part on. And then after that, I have these to contend with. But like I was saying before, these almost have to go to the very back. So this has to go down, whoops, upside down. Has to go down kind of far, because I have to trim that out some more, because it has to sit right here. Almost looks like it's supposed to, I don't know if it's supposed to go underneath or whatnot. Dinner ready?
Once I can mix the potatoes.
Okay. All I got left is this one. Trim this. It's the only thing I didn't do is I didn't trim this out. And I'm just eyeballing it, not really doing a measurement. Usually, for the stormtrooper ones, what I'll do is I'll do about 15 for the arms, biceps, and about 20 for the legs. This one looks probably like 25 maybe. I think it's the right length. Yep. So again, I'll just do one side in and then come with the other side. So I'll glue this in real quick. This one's actually quite thin, this inner one, so hopefully it'll work, because we have to peel it open to put it on. I heard some people will like put their foot in it, but if you ask me, that means that it's not fitting the leg like it should. You really don't want armor that's humongous on your legs. You kind of want it to fit you. I know if I was in the military, so if I went to battle, I definitely would not want to have a kit that was too big for me or too small. So right now, my Scout Trooper is too small for me. It was too big, I trimmed it down, now it's too small. So, it's good decoration, I guess. This one's gonna be a fun one. Let's see. Oh, my finger. Ah, thank you. basically holding these two together, and I'm just moving my hand back and forth and make sure the glue is on there. So, probably gonna go ahead and put a piece on the outside, or the outside. Don't want to use those bigger ones because they're for the other bicep. I can use this one now. So you're not gonna see that one. Alright. So before I go any further, I have to actually trim these two so they somewhat fit. See if it's even the right length. Oh boy. There we go. Yeah, I just need to probably trim maybe ½ inch off. Just a little bit long. If you don't put the boot on, it's going to probably be a lot bit long. Okay, so I just kind of evened it out. Slap this one on now. Do the same thing, just throw some glue. It might even help putting this other strip in, might help when I go put that one piece on today. So almost like a TK shin. Other than I had to cut out a lot. Oh, there, that should be good. So, I'm not 100% sure whether if I should, maybe I should look at a picture. Not 100% sure if I should make these shorter. I kind of trying to push it down to make it fit. Kind of fits like that, but I'm not 100% sure if it's supposed to be up here all the way or down here. I have to look at some pictures. Or if it should be down here more for the boot. Almost debating on trimming just a tiny smidge off, just to make it fit, because I have to push down a lot. So there's one that I saw where we had very little, and then another one I saw that was a lot. I'm just gonna go ahead and say the heck with it and do it about halfway on both. So I'm not going to glue it on now. I'm just going to put it on and then just see. And if I'm not mistaken too, I think this one kind of goes at an angle here. I have to look more. Again, I like the less is more. I see quite a few of my buddies and their kids, and it fits them way too big. So I like it better when it fits the wearer better. Of course, if you get older and get bigger, kind of can backfire then. So these kind of remind me of I think it's World War II, when they had on the canvas around their pants and up on the boot, and then went underneath the boot, and then you kind of had like laces, and you lace it up from the back. Kind of reminds me of that up front, or maybe a hockey player. They have their little big old paddings up front. So yeah, that fits a lot. I think that fits a lot better like that. I like that better. So obviously I got to straighten it out. I got to see if this needs to be curved in here, and then I got to make my notches. And what's weird about this kit is there's a notch here, a notch here, a notch here, a notch here, a notch there. So I mean, I have these extra bits. I don't even know where they go. But right now, at the very least, I have this. So I have to figure out if I should trim this more, what angle I should do this, what goes here, which one I want to put on here, because one goes on one leg, one goes on the other where it really needs to go. Because it kind of fits really good right there on this piece. It'll actually hide this, and again I'm going to put just another piece of plastic back here, just nobody's going to really see it, but it'll just kind of help fill it in a little bit in the back. And then I got to heat these up. Oh, and that's another thing I was thinking about, is I got to heat it up, figure out how long it needs to be. Oh yeah, so I'll probably just cut these in half. Let me see if it's even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 29. So about right in here. If I cut that one, that'll be 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 14 this way, 14 this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, so if I cut it right up there in the center, pretty much in between where I had to grind some of this down because it wasn't the best. Actually, there's a couple other little pieces. But I mean, I could dirty these up, and it could almost look like there's dirt inside of them. So anyways, I'll cut it here, and then that way and then heat it up. You heat these up. If you try to bend it the way it is, it's going to snap. So heat it up. And, oh, I think I'm missing the buckle. That's right, I'm missing one of these buckles. I think, actually 2 of them. I think I've seen one where it had a buckle. So I might just have to get with my buddy and see if he can get another or 2 more buckles. And then I want to say, well, obviously it's got to be a buckle, because what it's supposed to represent is you coming around. If you come this way, you come around and you put it in the buckle and then you cinch it. Which actually, that'd be kind of cool if you can get some pretty thick material right here. You just glue it in there, it comes around, lace it through the buckle and then tighten it, and then it'll be glued here to this part, not be glued to this part, and then you just put it in and tighten it, do the same thing with the bottom, tighten it, and then that way when you're done, and you don't have to do anything back here to secure it. When you're done, you just undo the buckle, pull it out, top and bottom, and then this comes off. I think that would look so much better than one of these. But once everything's painted, and then I throw the dirt and everything in here, you won't know the difference. It'll look just as good either way. It'll be more practical the other way, but then that's just something extra you would have to buy, and then hopefully try to find one of these. It looks almost like a military buckle, and you can kind of see like this part looks like it opens up. This piece looks like it goes in, could come back around, and you tighten it up. So it'd be better just to do it with the proper piece there, but I think it'd look cool the other way. So now I gotta figure this out. I gotta do the other arm, bicep, and the other shin, and then I'll come back to this, figure out what knee I'm gonna put on what, how this knee goes up or down. So again, I'm learning like you guys are. And then once I do the bottom, I think once I'm done with the bottom and I have these on, I have the bottom ones on, I might just go ahead and spray paint those before I even go to the chest and the ab, just because I want to see how it looks. And then I'm going to have to figure out the belt, what material they make it. Well, I think it might be like the Stormtrooper belt where it's canvas and then you just attach it to it. And I seen one guy on his build, basically what he did is he put 2 holes. So whatever belt you have, you figure out where the holes are, you put it in, maybe 2 Chicago screws, and then you screw it from behind, and then you come in here, and then you put this on, and then this one, when you go to put it on, you just throw some glue around here, throw some spray around here, and then we just put it on real quick, make it go tight, and then boom, you're done, just like that. Actually, this is in the back, but either way, for this one and these are a little bit tighter. Actually, that one fits. I think this one fits. Oh, it's this one. This one's just a tiny bit. I think they're both the same. They almost look, well, one's a little bit smaller, but it's kind of a tight fit. Okay. I got one side in. Let's see if I can get it. What I might end up having to do is cut this. Maybe if I put this side in. No, either or, it's not gonna. It's almost like, yeah, these fee up some, so maybe if I pull them down. So I got a lot of little stuff I got to do. And this is real good. This is basically just an old pair of pliers, and I sanded down the little lines in there. They grip. So whenever I use it on my plastic, for whatever reason, for armor-wise, it doesn't really mar the finish. It doesn't put any prints in it. But again, it's an old one, so I ruined it. It's not any good. There we go. Oh, that'll fit. It's a little bit tight. It wants to pop back up. But I mean, once I get it in there, whoops, that side popped up now. But once well, both sides are warm now. Anyways, I'm gonna have to glue it like that. Once I put it in there and then I glue it, it should be fine. Nobody's gonna be looking at the box and be like, oh, one side's a little bit off compared to the others. Which if I can hold both sides down at the same time, it actually doesn't look too bad. But anyways, I gotta figure out, I'm not even 100% sure if I have all the right amount of boxes. Oh, and then these boxes are only one. They're not, and they definitely don't fit inside of each other. I think you're supposed to have 4. So what I might end up having to do, because all these other boxes are inner and outer, what I might end up doing, I have extra plastic, is I'll probably just make a piece, bend them all in, so it just fits right in. Because really all I need, it doesn't have to be pretty on the side that's being bolted to the canvas belt. It just flips in. All that matters is this goes on and it glues on. That's all that matters. And that's it for today. Thank you.